favorites reviews, and we're here to talk about Mortal Kombat. I was gonna do like the song, but I didn't want to break the mic. Yeah, you literally all I heard was like "ka." That's it. Cut out. It just cut out. All I heard was like "ka." That's it.
I really didn't scream it. I just mouthed it very quietly. I just went, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay. I thought your mic broke.
No, my kids are asleep.
It's funny because I used to do radio in college. You did too, obviously. I maybe no one knew that. Who knows? But we actually played this song, like the Mortal Kombat song, and the radio station, and like people walk by, they could see you in there, and people hear the music, and it's in the hallway, like when you walk by.
Yep.
So like we just turned the mics on and we yelled as loud as we could, and someone just like walked by, like, what are you doing? Like they're like, dude, like seriously, like hurting everyone's ears.
It didn't inspire people to go like, yeah, or Mortal Kombat.
No, they're like, we
like,
literally,
what are you doing?
We like broke the mics. Well, we were happy. We were proud. We did what we wanted to do. So
I miss those days. I miss being able to do a radio show like that. It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we do this.
That's
now.
not what we're here to talk about.
We do this now, so we still. Have
this
fun
is
stuff
true.
So we're here to talk about the new Mortal Kombat movie that came out. In the States, it came out on the 23rd. For some reason, everywhere else, it came out on the 8th. I don't know why. Like, we had to wait a little bit longer for some reason.
Because we were the ones that wanted it the most. Clearly,
no, seriously. Like this is meant to be like based on what Asian culture sort of, but it's westernized so much more though.
I mean, it was based on how to get a fighting game together, right? Like it was just.
I mean, the guy that made this
The
guy that made this game is named Ed Boon. I mean, come on, like. But anyways,
is he the toasty guy?
No, he's not the toasty
Somebody
guy.
else.
No, he's not.
I want to know who that guy is.
No, we're talking about Mortal Kombat. We both watched it over the weekend. I watched it I think Friday night with my wife, and then obviously you watched it as well. I think yesterday maybe. So
yep, I watched it Saturday night without a wife.
But here's the question. I'm going to start off, Paul. This is for you.
Oh boy, feels like a surprise topic.
I don't care about what I think or what you think. I want to know what you think that your student that wrote you a poem on Outworld would think of this movie. That's what I want to know.
I was like, how? Because you were so excited. You were like, I know how we're starting this. I had no idea what to expect. Yes, I substituted in a high school poetry class, and as the substitute, we're reading writing and reading your poems. And this one kid just wrote a whole poem about Mortal Kombat and like the theme of Mortal Kombat. And in it, he was saying like, I wish I could live in Outworld and be with my friends Sonia, Jax, and Stryker. And I remember just like one of the characters. I was digging the poem. I thought it was really good. What really took me out of it though was like he wanted Stryker to be there. I was like, really? Him?
I mean, like
he could have anybody?
Obviously, he didn't like this movie because Stryker was not in this movie.
No, you got to be more of a Cabal fan to
Which
like
one's Stryker? Is he like the guy that's like got military like armaments and stuff like that?
Or he looks like a mall cop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a nightstick.
That's right. Right.
But I think in his victory pose, he just like shoots a gun in the air, and it's like, where was that gun in your fight? Like, why didn't you have that?
We're not allowed to use that in Mortal Kombat. Can't use guns.
No,
allowed to do that.
No, can use axes later on, but not guns.
So, do you think he would have liked this movie? Would he have liked this movie?
I think he would have.
We're Mortal Kombat fans.
For the same reasons that you and I probably like. What we like about this movie, I bet, is similar in that it is filled with Mortal Kombat lore. And like just like little references littered throughout of like from like really like the original game, like like the first two games, like so much of not just like the storyline of what's happening, what's going on, but also like the kinds of lines that you hear, some of the music, even you got a lot of musical cues.
Yep.
But just like the way the characters are talking to each other, and like things that were from songs like "Test Your Might," or put in Liu Kang's mouth to just say like, come on, test your might. And it's like, okay, all right.
No, this definitely is like, what I'll say is my take is I enjoyed the movie. But there is a part of me that like, maybe we could do a little comparison to this too. There's a part of me in the back of my head, I still like the original one more.
I knew it. I knew it.
I think it's all. I think it's like more nostalgia, but like, and I know this is modernized, and Mortal Kombat has changed so much since then. Like the characters look way different now than they did before. Like this seems to be more based on the modern version of like Shang Lao and or Kung Lao and Liu Kang, where like honestly like the Liu Kang in this movie, like we can talk about later, I he's not my Liu Kang. Like hashtag not my Liu Kang. Like you know like
Oh God.
you know
Eye roll.
but like I really because the actor that played Liu Kang in the original movie, he just like fit it perfectly, right? Like
Sure.
he just looked like Liu Kang to me. I mean, like that's just you know, plus his role was different. So that's my first thing I want to kind of like talk on, I guess, as we dive into this. It's like the main character they created for this movie to kind of like you know walk us through it. Like he's like the I don't know what's going on person, the audience. You know, like the like.
Oh, he's dumber than the audience. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I kept thinking. Like I was like, I can't wait to talk to Justin about it because I can't wait to say I hated that MMA wiener who they were just like trying to be like this is the guy we should be rooting for, and I'm like, I am not interested in this dude, in his girlfriend and their daughter and her daughter. I'm not interested in any of this. I really did zone out through a lot of that.
I mean, I was hoping I'd be interested. Like at first, I was like okay, when they first showed him, I'm like, he was wrapping his hand. Like, oh, who's this guy? Like, maybe he's a fighter I've never seen before. I started googling like on my phone, like maybe I don't know this character, and I'm like, oh, he was like literally created for this movie. Like that's disappointing.
So, like, for those people who haven't seen the movie, we'll save our like major spoilers until you know like about like 10 minutes in here, and then we're gonna get into a full spoilery review. But I wanted to ask you, no, it's okay, because I want to talk about that, dude. I want to talk about the intro, like I guess you can. I mean, everybody knows he's going to turn into Scorpion in some way. I mean, he's got the the dagger and rope, and says, and you know, is like shooting it out at people.
You could just kind of talk about the set piece, like obviously this, you know, the set
There's
piece.
That intro.
The intro is like it takes place in the past, so it's not, I don't think that's really a spoiler. Honestly, that whole scene.
That was like a trailer. Yeah, it is. They released that first like 5 minutes or whatever, like first 7 or 8 minutes of the movie, you know, in the week before it premiered, at least in the States. So a lot of people actually saw it, and a lot of people, like a couple of people I know that haven't seen the movie yet, watched it because they were interested. They thought it was pretty cool, and it is cool seeing Sub-Zero, you know, acting as an assassin, you know, which is what they are, you know, instead of just like. I like that they made him more of like he's an ancient threat, you know, and he's somebody that's fighting for Outworld, not like a sympathetic character. Like I don't really care about Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero just does cool things and kills people. Like that's fine. You can be that.
Yeah.
What was your opinion on like choosing that Cole character, and then like kind of going through like Jax and Sonya? What did you think of going that way? I thought it was pretty interesting. I actually appreciated that instead of going with Liu Kang.
I guess because I mean the only reason I appreciate it is because we've had that story before. So like if we hadn't had the Liu Kang story before, I think that's the only reason they did it differently. And maybe Liu Kang isn't as popular as he was when we were younger or when it first came out. Because I feel like that was a kind of a known thing. Like Liu Kang was the main character of this game. Like
I don't know. It was weird though. I mean, like especially with the first game, like yeah, it's like it's Raiden and Liu Kang are important, and that's what the first movie, the original movie, is all about. But I got to tell you, I like this kind of Liu Kang a little bit better because it makes him like kind of a weirdo. Like we're looking at this from the perspective of regular, you know, Earth dwellers, and then all of a sudden like this whole world is being opened up onto people like, oh, what are these different realms? What is Outworld? What is Mortal Kombat? Like what is this tournament for?
More knowledgeable, but yeah, I mean, but without going too much into spoilers, I mean, because I know I was trying not to do that, but like I think like you're saying the path and you know that the Cole goes on throughout it, because I mean that's sort of the gist of this movie. It's I mean I think it's being written everywhere. It's sort of like a team building movie. You know, kind of like people are calling it now Avengers-esque, which I didn't know was a genre, but I guess that is now. But like I didn't mind that. but it did there. Across the board, there was some pacing issues a little bit. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
I kind of got a little. I kind of get a little like, okay, let's just get to the fun stuff. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's go. Which after a little bit, they got there. It's like
Yep.
it didn't take
Yep.
that long. But I mean, I watched this kind of late, so that's my own fault. I was kind of tired, but like I had to pause it a couple times because of a few our new dog that we got. So like we
Hmm.
literally it took us like an hour to watch the first 20 minutes of this movie, and then we watched the end. It's like,
Yes.
but that beside the point. Like I feel like it just took a little bit to get to the good stuff, I guess. Um,
Sure. Sure.
but I mean, overall, I mean, that's what are you here for, really? You're here to see Mortal Kombat cool things and just kind of relive like some nostalgia, but then see it in a more of a rated R kind of perspective, I guess. And overall, I think that it did what it needed to do, I guess.
Yeah, and as I had, I think I had said to you when we were texting after, I was like, it was way better than it needed to be because it didn't need to be like very good, but it
No,
was pretty good. But it was pretty good. There were lots of things I liked about it. There
what
were,
it was,
yeah, as you said, pacing issues, but a lot of good character moments too. Like I didn't like him at first, but Kano grew on me,
oh,
and
Kano's the best in this movie. Like I feel like
yeah, I really liked like the guy playing, like he went balls to the wall, gave
yeah.
it his all to like make that character a little unique.
I
I
mean,
mean, a lot of
if you didn't,
that was like the problem I had with a lot of it is like a lot of the lines are just kind of trite, like the same kind of like 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 I can't
yeah.
believe that happened.
But
Like
if
it was like
you
really
didn't have
jokey.
if you didn't have Kano there, the journey to get to the end it would have been really boring, like extremely boring.
And
Like
it's
he
not
just,
surprising at
you know what I
all
mean?
that he like turns his back, like that he does what he does because he's Kano.
Yeah, he's
Like
a bad
that's
guy.
yeah. But I like I just want to say, like, I know that you didn't, this is not your, as you said, hashtag not your Liu Kang. I like
I do that
this.
jokingly,
I like approaching that, like the Mortal Kombat mythology from that perspective, though. I don't know. There was something about it being like they come across Liu Kang and he's shooting a fireball and he's like, "I'm already a champion. Like you are the other champions." And it's like he's already like established and ready. It's like we're watching Mortal Kombat, like the first movie, from a different perspective.
Yep.
Like from Johnny Cage or from Sonya Blade's
Mhm.
perspective, like seeing, like, oh, this guy is crazy. He could shoot a fireball, and we're going to learn these powers.
And the other guy can shoot a hat.
Yeah, he could spin a hat. Which, I mean, they made Kung Lao's moves actually look pretty cool. I gotta
Yeah.
say, I was like, are they gonna do all those things? They are.
We just got into spoilers because really, what can you spoil this movie?
Okay, lots of people die in a gory way.
Yes, you just died
Achoo!
yourself.
Achoo!
You
Excuse me.
but
So excited.
But yeah, like the starting with the beginning though, when you have the big fight between setting up the Sub Zero and Scorpion thing,
Yep.
that was awesome. Like I actually thought that scene kind of made me have higher expectations for the movie right off the bat. Like I think that's really what kind of
Really?
like I don't know. I thought like the set piece was really interesting and different, and like it was some really cool shots to it. It was a cool fight. Like I
I
just
will agree. I was glad that they went into the past to do that, to kind of
yeah,
set
there
up
was
like
just
what
some
Scorpion
really nice
is. Yeah.
visuals and things like that. Like I just didn't like I had so many the trailers of most pretty much all they show was like the frozen fight between Scorpion and Sub Zero. Which again, one thing I'll talk about, the trailer kind of sort of like ruins some of the juice a little bit in this movie because a lot of the things you in the trailer are just all there. So you could
Hmm.
have probably pieced this movie out before you even watched it. So this is why there's not really any spoilers. But I don't. I kind of like had a different. I was hoping, I guess, based on that scene, we would get more locales throughout it, like a little bit more, like a little bit
Over
more time. Yeah, like over time. Like
different stages.
yeah, like I mean, we kind of get that towards the end a little bit,
Yep.
but like on the way, it just seemed like okay. So we're focused on this awesome set piece, a cool little like Japanese Chinese. Like I like how one thing I want to say that's cool is that Sub-Zero's talking Chinese, and then
Hmm.
Hanzo or Scorpion talking Chinese. They don't understand each other. It's hilarious. I thought that was good.
Exactly.
I thought that was cool.
Oh, I thought that was dynamite because I was like, why are they labeling in Chinese, in
Yeah,
Japanese? I'm
I
like,
said that too.
oh, because obviously they wouldn't, unless they knew the language, wouldn't be able to like understand each other.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, like what a thing to put in a Western movie, you know,
Mhm.
like just to see, like, I wonder what people's reaction was to that. But I mean, like after a second, I was like, oh, I'm like, clever.
Yeah, I
I'm
thought
like,
that
I
was
like
nice.
it. I like it.
I thought that was nice. But no, like I guess that kind of that thoughtful kind of added touch to the subtitling, and
Sure.
just like the setup of like I think that's the lore you're referring. The Sub Zero and Scorpion kind of like fight. They've always had this sort of thing against each other, right? Like because it's always been this
Sure.
kind of
And
a weird like animosity, and that was an awesome depiction of it. But then we're
yeah.
brought to the modern day world, and we don't like Cole, and it's just like all of a sudden that luster kind of goes away. Like they're fighting in like a dark street. Jax is fighting Sub Zero in like just like what like a it looked like a set that you would find on like a TV show. It's like it didn't.
I mean, it's the set from any Mystery Science Theater movie that they're parodying, you know,
Yeah,
and making fun, just like some warehouse basement, or
yeah.
you know, like some
It was just
like
kind of like this
industrial.
weird like shift. It's like okay, like we had this awesome, cool,
Yeah,
like I think well put together, well thought out, like kind of scene with lots of like moving parts and kind of like cool fighting and like just cool camera work a little bit for that. But then it's like the fight between somebody and Zack, the first one was cool. It's just the set was weird. It's like it just like it's like and then we're in like what the temple for like I feel like the rest of the movie. Like
yeah.
that's the
We don't
things.
really ever leave the temple, and it's just like they keep walking, and it's like this is more of the temple. Just felt like I
Yeah,
was like, is this the same one? Or are they just filming it from the other side of
yeah.
the same scene? I want to say something about the opening scene with Sub Zero and Scorpion. Yeah, the fight's good, but it has just as many like Hollywood errors, you know, as you would expect in like a cheesy movie. Because right before Scorpion's family is, you know, killed, he's like holding his wife and saying, "I don't deserve you. You are the best wife I could have ever had," and then walks away. And it's like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wonder if his wife and children are about to be killed. Like,
Well, I don't think
like,
that's like a fault. I mean, that's just cinema. I guess
I
it's
mean,
just like
oh god, that's not cinema.
that's just stereotypical, like just cliche.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, I don't know. I guess
He might as well have said like his wife is one day from retiring from the police
it's
force.
just a way to like quickly kind of relay. I guess like a deep
Yeah, a lot
relationship,
of like I
which
love her.
which works way better for him than it does for Cole and his family. Like that.
Oh my god, his family. Yeah.
I don't
Um
understand that, but anyway. So like, you want to say that? Like, I felt like a little sadder about like him losing his wife and child when he finds them, and because that's pretty horrific. And Amber,
yeah.
I remember Amber watching it with me, like the baby's there, and she's like, oh, and she's like, she puts the blanket over her head, like I didn't want to see what happened to the child. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, the baby's okay. They put it on the floor.
That's right. It's okay. They're just a little frozen. It's all right. No, but yeah, the baby got to hide. Yep. And
just
so
put
the Scorpion's
just
bloodline
just put it on
was
3
made to.
minutes at high. It'll be fine.
No, you got to put defrost on. Defrost, and don't forget to cover it, or it'll splatter everywhere.
You gotta turn it over too before it's. Anyways,
Do you mess with power levels on your microwave
I
when
do.
you're defrost?
Yeah, well, and I do
You're
for
one of the. Do you really mess with the power level? Do you go
for
from 1 to 10?
for oatmeal. I do.
Oh, really? What do you do for oatmeal?
You're supposed to put it on 50%. It says it on the
Fifty
package.
percent? Really?
Yeah, on the package.
Oh my gosh.
There's
Oh,
certain oatmeals like the packets you don't need to, but like actual oatmeal, yeah, you gotta do 50%.
I don't know. I use regular old fashioned rolled oats.
Yeah, that's
See,
that's 50%.
this is how boring the Cole storyline is. That we're talking about how we microwave oatmeal. It is more riveting and more interesting to me than hearing
I
anything
was
about
confused.
this wiener
I was
MMA
confused.
dude.
I didn't realize that was his family at first. Like when you first meet him, okay, so he's about to do like some MMA fighting. It's like I don't know. It's like let's just introduce him. He's a fighter. He could take a beating.
He knows how to. No, he can't take a beating. That's the whole point. It's like he knows how to fight. He just can't defend himself. Which is like, how does that even work?
But like the lady that like was, I didn't know that was his wife at first. She's like, I can't watch him fight. She just walks out. But then that's his daughter. I guess it's like cheering him on. Like it was just weird.
It's not his. I took it to be that it was his girlfriend, and her daughter. They weren't
But why would but back up. Why would the girlfriend wife, right, not watch the fight? But it's like, it's okay. You could take my daughter and let her beat you. She can watch. I don't know.
Not a good mother. I don't know. Like, it takes all kinds of people to make up a world, Justin, especially the Earth realm. Yeah. What did you think of what's his name as Raiden? And I'm not going to remember his name, but I mean he's been in lots of stuff. He was in Inception. He was in he played Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. The fake one, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, he's got a very distinct voice. He was also in the recent Godzilla movie. Godzilla.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Okay, it's Tana.
Oh, and King of the Monster.
Asano.
Yeah.
Nabu Asano. I don't know what else.
Asano. Yeah.
I thought he was okay. I thought it's fine. I mean, it's definitely looks more Raiden than the actual one they used to do in Mortal. But there's the one from the original.
I'm sorry. I like Christopher Lambert just fine because I love his sexy, sultry Raiden voice.
He gets on the white hair too. It's so good.
No, I was getting hot around the collar every time I hear him.
He looks like more. The guy in this movie looks more like Raiden. But
true.
I kind of wish he fought. I know he's not supposed to fight, but come on. I loved playing Raiden in Mortal Kombat.
You just wanted to hear him do the thing where he just dives across the screen,
doing
screaming.
Just lightning bolt things. And I gotta say, backing up really quick.
I'm sorry. You will back up, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, him doing the lightning is like Tim, the enchanter from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He's just doing it at random, and they're like, "Hello, enchanter. Hi, Raiden." Zap. It's like he answers questions with electricity.
I don't understand why it's so hard to find these warriors though, because he can teleport anywhere. Why can't he say, hey, you got a dragon mark, you got to come with me? And here's the thing: he goes and gets the baby right in the beginning. Raiden, he takes the baby because he's like, I need to keep this baby for some reason, because it's important for things.
Because I gotta make sure some wiener MMA fighter is born from this bloodline.
Well, wait, how did he lose him? Where did the baby go?
He's like, we'll keep an eye on you.
Because she's like, I put her in the safest place to keep her from harm's way. But for some reason, he just sort of lost the lineage down the line. What were you doing, Raiden? Maybe
busy.
He was busy with the other tournaments. Okay, maybe that's what it is. But he doesn't really explain it very.
I'm not a babysitter. I never said I would guard the baby. I just said I would find the baby.
I'm just gonna take the baby. He just pretty much took the baby and just put it somewhere else. That's all he did.
Yeah. It probably would have been all right without Raiden's help. To be honest, I bet. I bet that baby would have been fine.
It would have been stuck in the floor. I mean, that's the only thing.
You don't think anybody would have wandered upon a village that had suddenly frozen overnight? I feel like people would have heard about that. But I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe they would have. They would have been fine. But yes, okay. Glad that Raiden found the baby, but he didn't take care of the baby. Yeah, that baby should have been like Liu Kang grown up. It should have been a closely guarded, secret. Yes, we have the heir to Scorpion. Which, by the way, Scorpion just shows up at the end of this movie.
Yep.
Just shows up. We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Well, there's reasons. It's connected to the baby being saved.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not explained really at all. It's just all of a sudden he's like,
"Oh, it's explained. It's the whole plot of the movie. What are you talking about? It's literally the whole purpose of this movie is for him to come back. Because that's the prophecy. That's the prophecy."
I don't buy it.
I didn't say it was a good prophecy. I just said that's the prophecy.
They just kept saying the prophecy is it will happen. And it was the prophecy will not happen.
The descendant of Hanzo's blood is spilt, and therefore anyways, we'll get there. So now we have what we have Cole that's been suddenly shoved into Mortal Kombat world, and because he has a dragon tattoo. I love Jack. He's like, hey, I saw that tattoo during your fight. Can I look at it again? Like,
how do you start a conversation with another man at the bar?
and the way he stands there and talks to him, it's like, hey, how you doing? He's just like, he's showing off his arms, like, really nicely. Like, these are my arms.
I have really good arms. It would be a shame if something happened to these really nice arms.
And in the back of our the back of our heads is like, we can't wait till those arms go away, man. I can't wait till those arms go away.
This movie foreshadows like a crowbar to the head. It's just like, look at these arms.
I've seen like that happen in the first trailer. It shows like Sub-Zero fighting him and like starting to freeze his arms. Like, okay, I know the aftermath.
Yeah, like, I thought that was a good way for his arms to go. If they had to go in any way, like, I figured that would be freeze them off. Why not?
The best way to do it.
And have it be like this incremental thing. That's what I'll say. I give this movie a lot of credit. They really thought through how the characters were going to get to be like the Mortal Kombat characters by the end of the movie. Like their journey was plotted pretty well to try and get as accurate to like the original like game or two, you know, to try and do that. I give them credit for that. Like they were really trying to get like that kind of accuracy to the material. So freeze his arms off. Why not? And then have his like power be like when it manifests itself, his arms like turning into the super awesome
so
Jack's
much better
arms.
than Annihilation's explanation. It's like he's just kind of there getting his arms fixed. I don't know.
It's like, hell yeah. Oh yeah. He turned into Spawn in that movie, right? Like with his like one-liners. Like, holy shit.
So
thank you.
So I gotta say though, when he does get his arms like ripped off, you think he'd have a different kind of reaction. Like he just looks like more like he's not really in pain. He's not really in pain. I mean, I guess it's like
it
froze.
Shock?
It's frozen, so like you don't really feel the pain, right? You know, so it's like it doesn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't feel it, I guess, but also maybe he's thinking they might grow back.
Well, I love how
because if they're frozen, maybe you unfreeze them. And hey, sorry to interrupt, but we have some important things to talk about in terms of our Patreon. Justin, take it away.
Just so you know, if you go to our Patreon page right now, you can get bonus episodes every single month. All of our previous bonus episodes included with that as well. Early access to all of our shows, even some of them ad-free, and then extra content just for the hell of it. And
hell yeah.
So if you want to support us for what we do, or you love what we already have done, go to Patreon. It's like $5.
That's right. So check us out on patreon.com/playingfavorites.
Okay, back to the show. I do appreciate that they do kind of explain how he survives, like, because I'm just like, okay, so they just leave him there. He's just like, in a sense, dead. Like he just falls down, hits his head. I'm surprised his head didn't break open.
I like that. I like that extra head blow there with a little splash of blood. It was like, oh, okay. The arm taking a man's arms away weren't enough. Like, let's make sure he hits his head on the way down.
And like, I mean, I understand bad guys being like kind of really violent, but to be honest, like everyone in this movie is extremely violent.
Oh man, Jax is who was it that he slapped?
Rico? It's Rico. Yeah, I think it's Rico.
Okay.
With a hammer.
Yes, that was a cool shot. It was I was like, whoa, are they gonna do that?
But okay, so we go to the trailer. So this I'm saying, like you have like the underground just warehouse that's in every movie. Then we're at someone's trailer. Like, well, where do we put Sonia Blade? We don't really. It's COVID, so we can't really. We're gonna have to just do this in a trailer, I guess.
Well, I love how they make her like a conspiracy theorist. Like they go into her house and it's like Pepe Sylvia over the walls.
How long are movies gonna do that though with the string theory? I mean, you have technology. Wouldn't you just say, "Here's a file"?
Gosh. Who is printing the shit off and cutting it out and pasting it and
she doesn't have time for this. She has to find all these warriors. Like, what's she doing this conspiracy theory stuff?
Like, don't you have Microsoft Word? Like, can't you just keep all these things? I'm like, have you ever used a web browser?
Just go to.
You can bookmark the page.
Joanne Fabrics. I'm like, I need some red string. I ran out. I'm like.
I'm sorry, ma'am. What are you going to use this string for? I'm going to use it to connect theories from one side of the room to the other. Where'd you get this yarn? It's such a lovely pattern. Oh, I used it to connect
And
Outworld
I
to the
picked
tournament.
red because everyone's dying. It's for death. Blood.
Red for the blood that will be shed. Gosh, dude.
But no,
Yeah,
but Kano comes in. You got the lizard thing that comes in fights.
It's like Reptile. It's basically Reptile.
I think is that an actual character? I wasn't sure. Like maybe from a later game.
Reptile was a character. He was like a hidden.
No, not Reptile.
In
The one
first
this one's called. It's like what's it called? Scythoth. Is Scythoth the character? That's the name of the character.
Oh. I don't know.
Oh, so that was Reptile.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a completely different character. It just, it wasn't. Didn't look
I think
like
there's like a race of those creatures, or like a bunch of those creatures in Outworld. Because like in the first Mortal Kombat movie, they had that. It was just like this is just one of the creatures, and he's like trained to kill. And
I thought it was gonna be Reptile at first when I saw like the green, and I'm just like, oh, it's just a lizard. It's Lizard Man from like it looked like the character from Soul Calibur. I was like, But no, that was a cool fight. I mean, that was fine. All the fights are cool. Like, I mean, like no matter what kind of fight it was, they all kind of had like they did that really well. It's like I can't really complain about any of that stuff.
Sure, I liked Sonya Blade too. I think she had a few pretty good lines.
She's really intense. Like she's always angry. She's like always just like she's seriously crazy conspiracy theorist.
At least she was right about Kano, like she was right. She was like, I can't trust this guy. I shouldn't trust this guy. And of course,
I did like them adding the whole like she kind of wishes she had like the mark,
Yes, and when she beats him and earns it, I was kind of rooting along with her there too. You're right. She did have this kind of like they kept like excluding her from things because she was not a worthy, she wasn't a chosen one.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she kills him and like sees the tattoo like on her and just like the smile on her face, it's like nice.
But that's the thing that's funny. It's like these people that are supposedly good guys are just like, yeah, I just shoved this thing through that guy's eye, and she just is laying on his dead body, just like like
yep, I did it. We get Liu Kang and Kung Lao introduced, and they give all this like
no wait,
Liu
back
Kang
up.
is like Kung Lao is this like you need to respect this man.
Liu Kang's introduction is so weird though. It's just like they're just walking through a desert. It's like like Spaceballs of just walking through a desert, and then he just appears in the horizon, just like hello, I'm Liu Kang.
Shoots a fireball at Kano. It's like I don't want to fight you.
I like how he like okay, just follow me, and he like walks the direction they came from, and then Kano then Sonya I think throws the GPS at Kano because he was the one that supposedly knew where everything is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny, but I don't know. Like then you're at like I said, we were at the temple forever. I feel like the temple forever.
I'm impressed with how much of the storyline you remember because so much of it was very forgettable, like Kano knowing the way to go, and then
that was the whole reason they went there, I guess. I mean, because I thought it was funny. It was just
was like they needed Kano to do this to get there, but it's like it was very like kind of by the books, like just get us to the combat part.
Again, like that, it could have been just as easy as like somebody like you could have saved some time and like if you're going to spend that much time at the temple. It's like, okay, just get everyone there. It's like, come on, get everyone there. Yeah, right. And actually have a tournament. Like, I think that's the only like kind of thing I like about the original one a little bit more is they actually had a tournament. It's like I thought that was kind of cool, like them going to different scenes, and it was kind of like a who's going to win this tournament, who's going to win that. You kind of knew, but like I thought that I think nostalgia-wise, I like that more because that's just kind of.
You like the varied locations. You wanted it to be in different spots.
Yeah.
Did you like how that fight between Jax and the dude he clapped his head together? I forgot his name again already.
Reiko.
It was at the pit.
Oh, I know. Like that. That's what I wanted.
And I was like,
but I think,
okay. Are you gonna uppercut him and he's gonna fall in? Like, when's that happening? I find it
funny. Like they made all these sets for just like a 3-minute use of it. It's like they literally they spent like 30 minutes in that little sand pit that they were training in. I felt like it's like, but it's like we're just like they come up with a plan like let's just teleport to them and just kick their ass. Like I'm like okay, that's a great idea. why didn't you do this before? Well, they didn't have their Arcana yet. I get it. Like, but
what did you think of Liu Kang's fight there with Kano? At the their first like little fight together, and he kept doing the like down kick, like just sweeping the leg. It's like, all right, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It was funny.
But no,
there's like a little references to the game like that. Like, okay, that was a pretty cheap move. All right, not gonna let that happen to me again. Whoop, like.
But no, I did like when they finally started bringing the bad guys, and even though it was like kind of like, what did you think of Shang Tsung? What did you think of him?
No thanks. I like the original Shang Tsung better. Friend of mine, friend of the podcast, and friend of playing favorites has he that was the thing that I guess irked him the most. I was talking with him earlier. He was like like Shang Tsung in the first movie has a presence. He's a good actor as well, obviously, but like he played that character really like to the rafters and like got you invested in him being the big bad guy. And this is Lau from The Dark Knight. The cowardly banker that they're like, oh yeah, if there's anyone that's gonna squeal to the cops, it's that guy. And it's like, that guy is Shang Tsung. And
like he felt like more really... like this, like, I don't know, some like lackey businessman, like just like go. I don't know, he didn't have a evil presence.
Maybe they're doing that on purpose to like set up Shao Kahn in the next one, if they're going to do a next one. I don't know, to say like, well, he's bad, but there's something far worse. But I did like the soul sucking scene. I will say that I liked how comic booky it was, if for lack of a better word, like just like the like in green souls coming out. I was like, well done. I liked the way that looked.
But no, like the fatalities as you get to the end of it. So obviously you got them training. You got Jax getting his arms. We talked about that. So did you like this idea of like the Arcana then? Like them I didn't mind that. Like just like them
I did
having that's what, no power, then getting the power, understanding what that is.
That's what made. That's what one of the things I meant by like how they showed you how like the characters from the beginning turn into like the more recognizable Mortal Kombat characters by the end, by making this like, oh, it's a hidden thing inside of you, and you just have to like get it to manifest. Like you have to be put into a situation to manifest it, like, and then you have it. I was like, yeah, like, all right, like I can buy that. I can get around. I can get my head around that. Like that seems to make sense, at least in the way in terms of the story. I did like how it was different for everyone. Like it's like this own like unique little thing, and you kept waiting for Cole's to come out, and it just didn't. And I was like, I hope it doesn't ever come out.
It's so bad when it comes out. It looks so stupid.
Like, what is it? He's got like wicker armor. And nightsticks.
I thought it was just gonna like keep evolving and get like more prominent, but then there was a part of me that was like, does he? I
thought he was gonna.
Go ahead.
You were gonna say it together.
I'm gonna say it.
Let's say it.
I thought he was gonna turn to Scorpion.
I thought he was gonna turn into Scorpion too. I was just waiting for it. He gave him the dagger. I was like, okay, he's gonna like. This is what they've been waiting for. Like,
that would have been such a better option. Way better.
I feel like this was a rewrite. I swear to God, I feel like this was a rewrite. I feel like he was going to be Scorpion, but then they decided to go back with the original actor because he's a really good actor and he's been in lots of stuff, more recognizable name and face than Cole. But at the same time, at the end of the movie, you know who Cole is going to become, right?
What do you mean? Who is going to become?
He's going to become Johnny Cage, man.
No, he's not becoming. He's going to find him.
He's going to find him?
That's what he says. He's like, I'm going to Hollywood to find him. They're looking for recruits.
To find him.
Yeah, Cole's it. That's him. That's Cole. You're welcome. You've been introduced to Cole. That's who he is. He's the Wicker Man. Like he's
Wicker Man, starring Kevin Costner.
I mean, I thought it was cool when he got the little like arm like stick things. Those are neat, I guess. And he gets to fight Goro, which is a better fight than Johnny Cage did in the original Mortal Kombat. But
true, I like Goro in this.
I think his fatality really is cool. Gruesome. Like he gets just like guts everywhere. It's just intense.
Yep,
So
it
did
is.
you mind that? Were you good with the whole like I guess extreme bloodiness
I
and
guess
gore?
I was surprised at first, and then I was like, why am I surprised at this? Like I've seen like there are hundreds of thousands of videos just devoted to the fatalities in Mortal Kombat in
Yeah,
the games.
I was telling
Like
Amber, like I'm like the game's
why would I be
worse.
surprised?
Like the game's
I'm like,
actually I
yeah,
think
like
worse.
this is actually pretty tame for the in terms of the game. Like
Kung
this is
Lao's though, his was the best. I really liked his with
that
the
was the
hat,
most accurate
and
too,
I
right? Like
loved the little.
throwing the hat on the
I
ground.
love the little. They change his voice. I feel like they're like flawless victory. He just says it himself. I'm just like, Jesus, these
Because
guys are just horrible.
yep, yep, just doing the like, and Liu Kang gets to say, "Test your might,"
Mm.
and then Kung Lao gets to say, "Flawless victory."
It's just
Yes,
so
her.
funny.
Oh, was it? I don't know who this winged creature lady was. I don't know if she was new.
Natari, I think is her name.
I don't know if she's new to the movie or if she's a character from the later
She's
games.
from the later
But
games, I believe.
I do like the way she died. I agree. That was the cool
Mm.
one of the coolest fatalities.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if there was anything cooler than that one.
I mean, there,
I mean, like Jax clapping the dude's head was crazy.
that was
Uh,
intense. I did like seeing the dragon fire. I mean, all the fatalities you want to go run
mhm.
through them. They're really
I
awesome.
like I like that the dragon chewed on him a little bit before it exploded into flames.
I mean,
You know, it got its teeth in him a little bit, so it was like a little extra. You know, twist of the knife. It's not just
mhm.
you're being burned alive, but you're also being partially eaten by a dragon.
What was Melina's? Like, how did that happen? I don't remember what Sonya did there. I can't remember that one honestly. I
Oh,
don't.
she did the wristband
I,
power
is that how she
power.
died? Is that the
Yeah,
fatality?
she had a hole in her chest.
Oh, that's right, the hole.
And you
Okay.
could see her. You could see Sonya through it.
Okay.
I don't know. For some reason, I thought at the end that it was like alluding to he was going to go on to become Johnny Cage for some reason. This dude, I
No,
didn't know he was going to go
no,
find
because
Johnny
they
Cage.
show a poster like as he's walking out of like,
Yeah, yeah.
but that means that he's already exists. He's a Hollywood
Did it?
star.
I thought it said something else. Like I thought it said like Johnny something and then like something Cage. Maybe I
Oh
read it
God.
wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably read it wrong. By the end, I was like, all right, I'm already done with this movie, and I'm done with you,
Yeah.
Cole. Like, I don't really care
Oh,
what you're
so
doing.
Cabal is who Liu Kang kills. I didn't like that guy's
Yes.
voice. Like it was weird to me. It kind of
I
like
don't know.
threw me off a
Yeah,
little bit. It was like this
and
weird like
I always thought Cabal was kind of a good guy too, someone that fought against Outworld and Shao Kahn and all that. Like, I'm pretty sure he was. That's why he was like in that mask. Like, it was like some kind of punishment mask or something. Like, I remember Cabal being not a bad guy, but yeah, he looked too much just like a robot dude.
yep.
He honestly looked like one of the bounty hunters from Jedi Fallen Order, like one of the
Yeah.
Haxian brood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
Yep.
just find him, like fight him in a random
That was
arena.
the other thing that was sort of like a weird just convenience thing too. It's like, hey, I'm Cabal. I know Kano. I used to work with him. He gave me this mask, and like I'm gonna go tell him to be on our side. I'm like,
Yep.
all
Are
right.
you really on the right side? It's
And
like, yeah,
it's just like I like how they could just have little meetings across the wall that Raiden makes. It's like no one's guarding that. Like no one's standing over there. It's like hey, can we just talk about this secret plan to destroy this gate? Like let's just have this conversation. Like very bad
yep.
security at Raiden's fortress. I don't know how he got as far as he did. Some god he is. Jesus.
Yeah, and like when it goes down, he doesn't even like show up. He's like not in the movie for another 20 minutes. It's like, wouldn't you feel like a little bit responsible? Like, maybe I should go check on that thing. Like, nah,
And then what? Okay, so
they got it.
after the initial temple fight where they all kind of like just like lose because they're
Hmm.
I don't know, not a team yet, or they haven't gotten angry enough. That's the only thing I have. It's like, oh, they haven't had
Yeah,
the extreme event to make them change. He
yep.
brings them to the Matrix for like 2 minutes for some reason. Like I don't know. Did you see? Do you remember this? Like they're just like in some white area. It's like the world between worlds.
The realm between realms. I'm like, you're borrowing from like 1,000 different video games and movies that are already in existence. Like,
I mean,
okay, sure.
we sound like we're ripping this movie apart, but really, it's just easy to pick it apart at the same time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like,
it's got cool stuff. There's lots of cool stuff in it.
yeah,
Like, I'm gonna ask you this. Usually we do this I don't know, towards the end, I guess. But
sometimes
we don't even know it. But I'll just ask you, like, point blank, like, who would you recommend this movie to? I know you would. It's not like you would.
Anyone that's played Mortal Kombat ever, it's like anyone that. I really that's it. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, or like if you just like kind of like if you're okay with some, some violent goriness, like, and you just want some fun things just to zone out to. And that's who I'd recommend it. I'm not recommending this to my parents. I know that.
No, this is not a general audience's kind of thing. This is not made for general appeal. This is definitely for people who have played this game, which I guess is a lot because I mean I guess the movie did pretty well so far. I guess in terms of
pandemic numbers, yeah,
on the streaming service, yeah.
Well, it's in theaters too, so it has like an actual like.
Oh, that's true. That's still so weird. I can't wrap my brain around that.
But no, I mean it's doing well. I think people are excited about it because I think people have been asking for another Mortal Kombat for a long time because I mean like
they got it.
It's even after that little like web series they had, I was like all excited. They had those like really mature like test Mortal Kombat things that came out. The one that had the guy from Spawn, I think as Jax, right? Which was a really weird take, but I think there's been just sort of this clamoring. But I guess a lot of the movie rights and things like that. Like we made a comment when we first started this movie. It's like even Amber made a note of it. She's like, it says New Line Cinema, and Amber's like, I haven't seen that logo in forever. Like it's like where has that been? Because like
I think the last thing New Line has only made this, The Hobbit, and The Lord of the Rings. I think in the last 20 years. Like I really don't know any other New Line pictures.
But yeah. So the one last thing we need to talk about though, because we keep saying we're going to talk about it, is the fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which it was awesome. But I feel like the trailer ruined it for me because I feel like all the cool stuff was in the trailer, except for like the fatality, which was fine. I mean, it was like by that point I'm like, okay, it's already over. I'm like, all right, just one more thing, I guess. I mean, it was fun just seeing it in general, but like I was like, I already knew this was going to happen. But this is the final fight. Like that's it. Like and then like that's the only thing I kind of felt let down about like the final boss, if you would. There wasn't really like it was like all the fights up there. There was like it was just a rush of just like let's have a ton of fights all at once for like 15 minutes.
Because there was no central fight, right? There was no central like. I mean, who does Cole fight in the end? Who was his adversary? Is Goro.
He beats Goro, and then that's just cool. But that's him getting his Arcana. But then he has to like rely on Scorpion to fight Sub-Zero. So it's like him. Yep. He doesn't really do anything. Like he just is like, oh, I get cut once, and Sub-Zero comes, and Sub-Zero does his thing. It's like, thanks, take care of my line, and then maybe he'll be cooler in the next movie. I don't know, but like, it's like it was kind of like. And then I honestly, it's like I feel bad. Like I didn't care about his family. Like I didn't really like. I was like,
I'm so glad to hear you saying this the way I said it.
I more cared about like Scorpion getting his revenge for his family's death.
Yes,
But
and I really just wanted him to possess Cole, and I wanted Cole's. Not that I have anything.
Because we need Scorpion again
him.
Now. Like it seems like we can't get Scorpion again, right?
Right. Like that's what I was pissed about. Was like, okay, I was expecting Cole to turn into Scorpion, and that in the process it would kill his girlfriend and the daughter, and that would be like Cole having the same tragedy as Scorpion in the past. But that's what makes him Scorpion, and that's what turns him into like this like living demon kind of character. And I was expecting him to be badass for the rest of the movie, and then to be this kind of rogue element. That would be like, well, I'm not fighting for Earth and I'm not fighting for Outworld. I'm just fighting who I want to fight. And I was like, this is gonna be really cool if they go that way. But they're like, no, let's bring him back just to fight Sub-Zero once, and it'll be a cool fight. But then that'll be it, and he'll turn around and say, "Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye." It was underwhelming. The fight itself is cool, but like you said, we already saw it. We already saw like the best parts of it.
Yep.
And just seeing it at the very end too was kind of disappointing. I was like, oh, It's finally here.
Which is weird because I mean, a lot of the fights we already saw in the trailer. You just didn't see like the fatalities. That's really what you were missing for a lot of it, and that's the only downside about like this movie, I guess, is that I kind of wish they had enough to hold back, but I feel like they needed to. That was the only way to
threw
market
everything at it.
But it's got good responses. I feel like everyone that went to see this movie got what they wanted. Again, you said it's better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like it's better
if you're
than
seeking this movie out.
It's better than it needed to be. Like you said at the beginning, it is. But there's just so many things you can just like. I wonder like if you can actually make like a legit, really awesome like Mortal Kombat movie that has like a good plot and like isn't just a bunch of fights, but then has good fights. It's like I wonder if that's possible. But I feel like you just can't.
I don't know. I don't know if you can balance it out with the amount of fights and the level of blood and gore that is like what Mortal Kombat fans are accustomed to. But who knows? If they make a second one, maybe it'll be like the Dark Knight.
Supposedly the Sub-Zero guy is like on for like 4 movies, so he's coming back supposedly. Because at the end,
I'm sure Shang Tsung can bring him back.
Well, he takes all their souls, so you can. Yeah. No one dies in Mortal Kombat. Yeah. So I mean, there's always ways to bring him back. So
just put another quarter in, and you can continue the game.
So we only know Johnny Cage is coming back. Will be in the next movie, obviously. You thought it was Cole.
Johnny Cole.
What other characters do we need? We obviously need Stryker because we need
We need a mall cop. Keep things from getting too rowdy.
He has got a Night Wolf. You need Night Wolf, right? You need.
You saw his picture. He was mentioned in the.
Was he?
He was in Sonia's files of the past.
Oh, okay.
Like, looking at like tournaments from the past. It was like very brief, but I'm trying to remember. Okay, who were the characters in the original game? Johnny Cage was he the only one that wasn't included in this? Because you had Raiden, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya.
So Shang Tsung was the boss.
Yep, Goro in there, but
yeah,
what's his name?
I think that's it. I can't think of anyone.
I think all of them were in there.
Yep.
And then from from Mortal Kombat 2, we had Reptile, we had Melina, right? Was it Melina?
Katana. We didn't have Katana.
Could have. So you could have that angle.
Was Katana in the first game?
No.
No.
Katana and Melina were not in the first game. They were in the second game.
Okay.
Yeah. Sonya was the only female character.
Was it Baracus?
Baracus is in the second game, too. They're a whole race of crazy-looking scissor hands people.
And then we made fun of this in a different show, but like his Goro's dad or something, Mantaro or whatever.
Mantaro or Kintaro, one of those. It's like his dad inherited his job. Well, hey, Goro's dead, so maybe we'll get him.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Be like, well, I got to go with his father, who's the next best 4-armed person I know. Got to have a 4-armed person in there.
But
I'm
all for another one. I think it's good to have this one out of the way though, because I feel like that would just make the next ones even better. Like, give us an actual tournament. Like, it make the tournament like 3 movies long for some reason. Make that work.
I think it's good that it would be cool if the second movie just got right into it. Like, all right, we're ready. It's Earth's turn. We're going to defend Earth. Like, we're all a team. Like, they're already there. They're already ready to fight in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat! Sorry, just got so excited I screamed Mortal Kombat. Everything fell over again. So I think it would be great if they just dive right into it and just start with the tournament. And let's see the ins and outs of the tournament. And then, I want to see Shao Kahn. Did you see his like statue? They showed it like a couple times.
Yep.
Of like how enormous he is too.
Mm-hmm.
Which you need for that character. Not that dude who played him in Annihilation, which is one of the best movies you've ever showed me. In that it was such a terrible movie.
I just want to watch those again now for some reason.
I do too. Maybe we should do a little we should stream it or something.
Bonus episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a review of Mortal Kombat from 2021. If you watch this 10 years from now, this is the year we're talking about, I guess.
Yep. Not the one from.
We give it 2 thumbs up. I think. I don't know. Maybe 1 thumb up.
I give you 1 thumb up, and the other one's doing this.
Oh, I meant like both of us combined, like those 2. Like,
oh yeah, 2 out of 4.
one, yeah, sure.
Here, I'll give you mine.
But if you liked our review, we're doing other reviews. We had done Justice League, Zack Snyder's cut earlier, like I think like last month, whenever that was. We have lots of Let's Plays. We do lots of we talk a lot. So check us on podcast services, YouTube, Patreon, all those things. Like us, subscribe, smash that bell, whatever you're supposed to do to
Ding that
support us, awesome content creators. So
depress that subscribe button.
Okay, well, this is the Playing Favorites Reviews. I'm Justin.
I'm Paul.
Finish it.